By the way, I have a funny story about Rihanna.
Yeah. Oh my God, tell.
Okay, it's really good. I actually think I've shared this publicly. So season 1 ends.
Okay.
I'm at Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom's. Anyway, I'm in the shoe department of a store. And all of a sudden, my Instagram alerts pop up on my phone and it says, DM received from bad gal Riri.
You're lying.
So I'm like, no. This is like completely a hoax. I sit down in the shoe department and I open the DM. It is Rihanna.
You're Jessel.
I swear to God.
I have chills.
I swear to God.
Don't do the freezing arm thing, because that's the thing. I'm going to get this wrong, but one of the great supermodels, she did that freezing thing and then she...
What happened? Was this, was it Carly Kloss?
No. It's like...
I think I read about this and something happened.
Yeah.
Like it was bad.
Yeah. Linda Evangelista.
That's what it was.
Okay, so listen. Okay, Linda Evangelista is coming out of hiding after a cosmetic procedure gone wrong. The supermodel did everything to try and get her body back, but now she's leaning into accept new reality. So she was on the cover of this magazine in 2015. She tried cool sculpting,
right,
which is FDA approved. It's meant to shrink your fat cells by freezing them. Okay, but in rare cases, it comes back, or you have a bad reaction to it, and it's really terrible.
And what happened to her? She had a bad reaction.
Yeah, it's called paradoxical adipose hyperplasia.
Wait, that sounds serious.
And it's where the fatty tissue grows instead of shrinks.
Ew!
So imagine you go in, you're getting your fat frozen, and then
it doubles up. No, I would.
Anyway, I remember that, and I remember that scared me. So don't do that. You look so skinny. This is what I'm just saying. You look so good.
Thank you.
You look amazing because you're filming.
I'm filming. So like, obviously when you're filming, you're just like crazed. You don't really eat. My kids are obviously like crazy, and I'm on the go.
Okay, can I ask a question? Because I am, as you know, like such a big Housewives fan, but I actually don't know, how does it work with filming? Do they tell you, oh, today we want to film? Or are you like, hey, I'm going to have a conversation. Can you come to my house and you film?
So every Monday, you sort of run through your week and what you're doing. So it is very much like capturing your state, like your like natural state of life.
Right.
But then they'll sort of, if I'm doing something for work that's interesting, they'll be like, okay, we want to shoot that. We're interested in that.
Yes.
And then obviously with the cast members, it's like a little bit more staged.
Right.
They're like, oh, you should have lunch with X, Y, and Z. And then we get to, do all the gossip.
And are you excited to be filming?
Yeah, I am.
Do you like the filming process?
It's stressful. I'm not going to lie. Because imagine you are already so busy.
You're trying to live your life. You're running your business. Right. You have kids.
Right.
And then you have to be like, and come to my house and film.
Yeah. But I think the most stressful part for me, and I do this to myself, is that my fashion and my looks, I create, it's like a tornado of stress, because every single scene, I have to wear something different. I have to look like the part, and I put that on myself. Like no one's telling me to do that.
Yeah, because you want to be serving looks. And also one thing I thought you looked fabulous in the first season. I thought you had such a great first season. I personally knew from the beginning you were going to be the star. And then I knew the arc was coming, and you just ended the season on such a bang. We'll talk about that in a second. But I feel like something that we always talk about in the Bravo universe is like the season 1 to season 2 jump.
Right.
If you go back to look at some of the first Housewives franchises, I feel like in the first season, they're like, just normal, regular people, whatever. And then they clearly watch themselves on TV, and then they're like, I need a stylist. I need a new haircut. Like I need a makeup artist every day. And it's like the jump.
Check my new hair.
No, literally your hair looks so good. But I think what's so interesting about this new season of RHONY is that like everybody started at like a 10. So I'm excited to see the jump from season 1 to season 2 for you guys, because you all started literally looking fabulous. I also just think like New York Housewives, a different breed.
It's a different breed. I mean, you're living in one of the most like stylish, powerful cities in the world. Like you have to bring it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny because when I can't watch myself on television. It was really, really painful. Imagine watching yourself for 4 months on national TV. I had a breakdown.
I'm sure.
Picking at everything.
No, of course. And you really, what I appreciated is like you left it all on the field. Like you were so honest about everything, your relationship. You really gave so much. And I'm sure watching that back is painful.
Can I tell you a little bit of a secret?
I would love that.
Spill some tea. I had never seen not one episode of Real Housewives.
And I think that's okay. And I honestly, in a way, I feel like some Bravo people are, you know, they're purists. They're like, oh, you have to respect the franchise. But in a way, I kind of think that that's better because you didn't come in with any preconceived notions about how to act. You really were yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that for a lot of people who watch so many Housewives, if they were to go on, they'd be like, well, I don't want to do what she did and I don't want to make that mistake.
Right.
But you really came on and you were just like, I'm doing me.
Yeah. I mean, I really did do me. And then, you know, I was dropping bombs left, right, and center. I had no idea how production worked, right? So like I'm dropping a bomb and I'm like, oh, I'll leave that. That will like stay there. Instead, it implodes like in my face. And, you know, the next thing you know it, like my storyline is me not having sex with my husband for a year. I was like, oh my God.
I know, but you know what? I think that that's so cool. And I think you probably helped so many women out there. Yeah. Like I truly think it's like incredibly moving what you did. And listen, like I'm vulnerable all the time. Sometimes I say shit on my podcast and I'm like, I actually can't believe that I just told the whole world that. Like that's so embarrassing. But then you get the notes and you get people, I'm sure you've had so many women come up to you and say, thank you for speaking on that. That's so relatable. That's something that literally every couple goes through, especially after having kids. Like I thought it was so beautiful and honest. Do you regret saying it?
I don't now. I mean, I think in the moment when you were sort of going through it, I was like, why would I say that? And then I had to go home and tell my husband.
Yeah. How did Papa deal with it?
He was like, why the hell would you say that? And I was like, it's okay. I'm a Papa, so I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
But of course, like you can't fix it because like you have like 20 other people who are trying their darndest to like blow it up in your face. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to roll with it. We're just going to play it, like see how it goes.
Yeah.
And listen, you're right, because I think there's a ton of women out there who just have kids or going through IVF, and like it really does like morph your body into something that you've never really like seen before. And so in that respect, look, my DMs were fired up. Like everyone was very, very grateful that I was on national television as a woman that looks like me, you know, Indian, and talking about this stuff. So yeah,
no, I thought it was really beautiful. And I wonder, do you think that you'll approach season 2 differently? Like, do you think, I think it's hard not to change your behavior slightly based on the experience you've had. Do you think you'll be more reserved in season 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm obviously very much more aware of like the process, but essentially, no, because I think that what is key about especially being on reality TV is that you are real, right? And that you are authentic and that you sort of like follow that thread through. I couldn't really spin this any other way.
No, it ended up playing so well for you because you were so honest. And to your point about never watching Housewives before, I think the main issue with reality shows now is that people go on wanting to be famous and they want to be perceived in a certain way. Right. And because you didn't have any prior knowledge about Housewives, you just went on, you were yourself, and that's why everybody loved you so much, is because they were like, here is a real bitch. Like she is a normal girl. Like she is going through it like all of us and she's just doing her. Here's a question. Do you think you got an unfair edit?
At the beginning, yes. At the beginning, I was spiraling.
Because I felt that.
It was,
but I couldn't tell how much of it was just you guys adjusting to each other or the edit or what it was. But I was like, I know I love her. I know she's going to have a redemption arc. And then you came out and it was like, oh my God, like the press that you got at the end was so good.
Yeah, it was definitely bigger than what I expected. But to talk about unfair edit at the beginning, you know, it's funny because that first opening scene, you see me with my family and I'm being a bitch to my mom and being a bitch to my husband. I mean, by the way, what?
That's so real though.
Yeah, I'm like, the fucking table's dirty. Can I swear? The table's dirty. Yeah. Like I was irritated. But, you know, prior to that, you know, 20 minutes prior to that, like little like, you know, OCD moment, we were talking, we were laughing, we were talking about how my mom actually like told me I should marry my husband. It was a cute story.
Yeah.
So they purposely chose to cut to the point where I was being, you know, a little diva. And that was my introduction to the world. And it was so crazy because I vowed never to read the comments. So episode 1 airs. I'm like, la, 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 this is going so great. And then Puffett's in the other room. He's like, people hate you. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, Reddit fucking hates you. Instagram hates you.
Oh my God.
Twitter is blowing up. They hate you. I was like,
And then did you read some comments?
And then I started reading the comments.
And did you spiral?
I spiraled.
I feel like you have, I mean, look, I don't know how you are behind closed doors, but from what I do know, I feel like you're very sensible and you have a strong sense of self. So I feel like that would serve you well. But at the same time, the comments are insane.
They are insane. People notice every little thing. And yes, I'm sensible and I have self-awareness. But what I was frustrated about was the fact that they were getting it wrong. I was like, no.
By the way, being misunderstood is my greatest trigger. Being misunderstood is so frustrating because, as you said, like they missed out a conversation of where you were being cute.
Context.
And they missed the context. Yeah. And to feel like you're being judged on less than 1% of your personality is such an unfair, frustrating experience. And you're like, but wait, no, that's not the real me. Right. And you just feel like they're picking you apart based on nothing at all.
Based on nothing at all. And also I had this pressure because, look, I was the first Indian housewife ever to exist in the history of the franchise, like in America.
Right.
So I know that people were like watching me, especially Indians, they watch like hawks, and they're very judgmental. And I was getting comments like, well, this is the girl that she chose to represent us. And I was like, oh my God, people.
That's so much pressure.
People are turning against me.
Yeah, that's so much pressure.
It was tough.
That's insane.
It was really tough.
But now you're filming again. Are you in good standing with all the women right now?
Currently, yeah.
Well, okay, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that.
Don't give us a boring season.
No, I'm
now.
not going to. It's definitely not boring. What I will say is that I think that like every reality show, it kind of goes, it ebbs and flows.
For sure.
Right? There's obviously peaks and valleys.
For sure.
And, you know, it definitely isn't, you know, it's not a smooth ride.
No, of course. But
I think for the most part, we all know each other. We respect each other.
I love that.
And at the end of the day, this is New York, you know.
Totally.
So we're adults. We're women who are entrepreneurial in spirit. We run, you know, our households. We have children. Like we're normal in that way.
Everyone has so much going on in New York. Like everybody has so many businesses. It's very cool.
Totally.
All that to say, Jessel, welcome to Office Hours, where we discuss everything interesting on the internet this week.
I haven't been in an office in a very long time.
This is my office.
This is your office.
So last time we saw each other, you very kindly had invited me to your Diwali party, which was so much fun. It was, you guys, it was so much fun. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know. I've been to Diwali parties before, but this was like on another level. Tell us about your involvement in that. Like explain what it is for people who don't know.
I mean, listen, I think Diwali is kind of, it's the one time of the year where we really go all out.
Totally. It's the Festival of Light, right?
It's the Festival of Light. It's considered our New Year. So similar to like a Hanukkah or a Christmas. But listen, as Indians, we love to give it our all. So it started out like a small little gathering. Then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now it's being coined as like the Met Gala of like, you know, Indian social like calendar.
It was so chic. It was such a great party. It was like a who's who of all the important Indians. And it was just like, oh my God. Like I was like so starstruck. I actually randomly ran into a bunch of my friends, and the warmth of this party, like I'm talking about, the energy was so incredible. Everybody was dancing. Like I don't think anybody sat down to eat. It was just like grabbing a bite and then dancing, having fun. The outfits were incredible.
The fashion was fashioning. It was, and people really work like 6 months in advance to like make sure that they give it, you know, they bring it. It was just, you looked incredible.
It was,
I remember you in the red.
You lent me. You dressed me. You dressed me. It was so fabulous.
And by the way, Tinx was the biggest sport. She like came on a red eye.
I wasn't going to miss it. I was like, I love it. And I just, oh my gosh, I love Indian food. I love Indian culture. I was just so thrilled to be there.
Now we just have to find you an Indian husband.
Exactly. Guys. Well, as I spend more time in New York, that's what I'm going to task you with.
I know. It really is.
In between your kids and your business and filming your show, you need to find me an Indian husband.
You're moving to the top of the list on that.
Okay. So, Jessel, we don't need a warm-up question, but since we're here, what is the best thing that you ate this week?
Well,
not very much, clearly.
No, I'm not I'm not eating. Well, last night, and you'll appreciate this, I had spicy Thai food.
Oh my God, I love Thai food so much.
Something about spicy. It's like I grew up eating spicy food. It's like an aphrodisiac.
No, it is.
It really, it like sends like this like warm, fuzzy like buzz through my body.
No, it's so good. I love Thai food.
Thai Villa.
Thai Villa. Love Thai Villa.
It's so good.
What was the most annoying part of your week?
So the fact that my kids are now off school.
How old are your kids?
They're 3.
3.
They just turned 3. So this is what happens in New York and probably across the country. In fact, you pay an incredibly large amount of money tuition to schools.
Right.
And
I remember that you were talking about that on the show is the cost of the schools. And it was like, it's actually breathtaking how much private schools are in New York.
Bananas.
Like the rich mom energy is like, it's off the charts. And it's not only do they make you pay all this money, but they're also like write all these applications and like do all this stuff and donate and do all this other, I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But what really irks me the most is the fact that you're paying tuition, but they're not really in school. Because listen, they've just come off spring break, which was like 3 weeks. Now it's a summer break, which is 3 months, right? So we're spending all this money for them to go to school. But guess what? They're not in school.
They're never in school. I know. That's like with hotels. They're always like, oh, it's this. It's like if you go to a nice hotel, I'm like, okay, check-in is at 4 and you're kicking me out at 10.
Right.
And I'm like, so that's like, you're missing half the day. Like, I don't get it.
Half the day sitting in the lobby waiting for your freaking room to get cleaned.
Literally. That's insane. That's insane. Okay, so what's the most annoying part is that you have to pay all that?
The fact that like we're paying a shit ton of money and they're not in school, but also our nanny, who is our lifesaver, she's in school right now. So her schedule's crazy and we're trying to like navigate filming plus kids being at home. So yeah, this morning we were filming a scene at the house. Pavitt went to take them to the park. He came back, like cameras are on him like as he walks in through the door. The kids are like throwing French fries, eating spaghetti through their t-shirt. I mean, it was a fucking circus.
It's just a mess. Yeah.
Mess.
But
and
it's
then
like,
I had to
like a happy chaos.
It's happy chaos.
Yeah.
It's great. That I like to actually have them at home.
Yeah. How is Pavitt?
He's funnier than ever.
He's so iconic. Who gets stopped more, you or him?
No, trust me, no lie, him.
Like he's like shot to Bravo icon status so fast.
Can I tell you something? We were on vacation. When were we on vacation? It was like February of this year. And I'm standing next to him. We're at a hotel. We're at Valet. We're in Mexico. And this woman comes up to him and she's like, "Oh my God, are you on RHONY?" And she's like talking to him, like totally fandom. I'm standing right next to her. And she just completely bypasses me and makes a beeline for Pavitt.
Does he like the attention?
Loves it.
I love that. Honestly, he's so funny. I can't wait for some more dry one-liners from him.
By the way, at BravoCon, he was the only house husband that went through, you know, like there's like lines where people wait. It's like a long line to take pictures or whatever. He was taking selfies. He was going in and out of the lines and taking selfies with fans.
Honestly, I love that. Good for him.
He was so into
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
He's so funny. I can't wait for more Pavitt on this season. Okay, would you rather be the funniest or the most intelligent person in the room and why?
So I thought about this at great length. Now I feel like you have to be intelligent to be funny, right?
I agree.
You have to.
Yeah.
To be witty and smart, like, and funny, you've got to have like that quick, you know, sort of like impulse. I would hate to be smart and boring. I think that's the worst thing you can be.
Totally.
So I'm going to take the funny over the intelligent.
I agree.
Because I feel like you have to be smart to be funny.
I agree. I would love to be the funniest person in the room.
Agree.
I could, smart, take it or leave it.
Yeah, smart, anyone can be.
And you're right. You need to be, in order to be funny, you need to have that. You know, you need to be clued in.
But I feel like if you're funny, people like you more too.
I agree. People only remember how you make them feel. They don't remember what you say or do. Like, they only remember how you make them feel. And if people remember, oh, I laughed around them, I felt comfortable around them, you know.
Laughter is the best medicine.
That's the best medicine. Who's the last housewife you texted?
That probably was, it was Sai. I laugh because she's got this whole like dilemma right now. I don't know if you follow her on Instagram, but she kicked a garbage bag and there was glass inside of this garbage bag. The glass entered her foot at this crazy angle.
Oh my God.
And so she has glass stuck in her foot. And it's this like whole 2-week saga. But net, she's absolutely... like, she does not let anything stop her. She went to Turks and Caicos the day after it happened. They can't operate because it's close to her artery. It's like a piece this big. So I don't even know. So anyway, I laugh because we were at a gala together. We went to the New York Botanical Garden gala last Thursday. And she was wearing this beautiful Oscar de la Renta gown and jelly flats underneath.
Oh my God.
Because she couldn't walk.
She literally couldn't walk.
But why I texted her was I sent her a screenshot because Vogue magazine, Vogue.com, actually like covered the jelly shoe.
No, you're kidding. Well, she's a fashionista, so it's like, oh my God.
I was like, your jelly shoe and your glass foot made it into Vogue. Like, you should be proud of yourself.
God. Okay. I love that. There's so much fashion energy on this, Roni.
big time.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, sorry. I do have one more question. When everything was going down, and you were getting all the good press and whatever, have you befriended any housewives on different franchises? Like, have any reached out to you and you like them now and you're friends?
Honestly, a lot of them. Like I
feel like it's the world's greatest sorority. It's like a special, it's like the League of Extraordinary Women.
Yeah.
I'm just like, is there a database? Like, I just want to know everything about it because I'm just obsessed.
It is like a sorority. And I feel like anyone that is a Bravo celebrity, you sort of get it. Like you just get the process. You get, you get Andy's jokes. You get what it means to be on Watch What Happens.
Yeah, you get the stress of it all. You know all that.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's good to know that people are nice.
Great. I'm actually having dinner with Lisa from Dubai tonight.
Oh, I love that.
She's amazing.
Okay, I love that so much. Yeah. Okay. We are going to talk about a few pop culture stories. Are you a pop culture person?
You know, I get my news, sadly, from Instagram.
No, same.
But like, it's just so quick and it's fast.
And I just like digest it. Okay, so have you heard of this trend that is, I did see it on Instagram, about sexy rap boyfriend? This is the latest dating Gen Z craze. They're calling it a hot rodent summer. Gen Z has spoken and the hot rodent man and sexy rap boyfriends are in, okay? So this term is used to describe someone that is essentially a lanky man over someone more bulky. He has sunken in eyes and he scurries around instead of walking with purpose. So the opposite of a finance bro.
I am so confused by this whole thing. Like, who decided this was cool?
So here are some examples of sexy rap boyfriends. Jeremy Allen White from that show The Bear, Timothy Chalamet, Maddie Healy, Barry Keoghan, Kieran Culkin, and Mike Feist. So I see what they mean. It's kind of like that look.
It's like indie. It's like indie
sleaze. Yeah, it's kind of like that's what we would call it. I swear everything is just coming back around, but under a new name.
It truly is.
Like when we were younger, like millennials, it was the indie sleaze look. Right. It was, those
who was the
guys.
Lead singer of Blur?
Exactly.
He looked like a rat.
And like, Arctic Monkeys guys, Strokes, like all those guys, it was the same thing. It's like, they wear the little skinny scarves and the jacket, the leather jacket and the skinny jeans. I mean,
is it rock chic? If we bring rock chic back,
I think it's kind of rock chic. I think that's a lot better than sexy rap boyfriend.
Here's my boyfriend. He's a rodent.
He's a sexy rodent. Yeah,
I don't know about this.
I don't know. Not my type per se, but I love that. I love a branding moment, and I am constantly in awe of Gen Z's ability to rebrand things. Right. Every week that I go online, it's like sexy rodent boyfriend, strawberry makeup, blueberry glaze. This I'm just like, there's constantly, a new branding moment.
I was thinking about this. Like, if a girl looked like a rodent, do you think that would trend? Like, no, not.
I know. We do say literally, we're like short king spring. This about guys, that about guys, and then we don't talk about girls. Though.
No, exactly. It is so funny that it's a guy thing, and it's also, I mean, not for nothing, but there's no like ethnic diversity in that rodent.
That's true.
thing.
That's true.
So. I don't know. I'm confused.
I agree.
Lil Wayne, maybe? Is he looks like a rodent? I don't know. Does he T.I.? Like, where are my black ties at?
Yes, this is true. This is a very whitewashed.
It's a very whitewashed
boyfriend.
Totally.
Panel that we have here.
It's indie rock.
It's indie rock.
There's no black indie rock singers, right? Am I wrong? Is there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No indie rock
Definitely
singers.
not. Definitely not. We don't fuck with the guitars.
Well, to this sexy rap boyfriend summer, Gen Z, we say you need more diversity. So how about that? What's your type? I mean, obviously pop, it's your type, but like before when you were dating, like what would you say your type is?
Like bad boy. They have to be tall. Yeah.
Weren't you guys friends before? You
we
and
were totally friends. Yeah.
And then how did you was he?
Yeah.
I can see that.
He was a rebel.
I can see that. Wait, how did you make the switch from like friends to dating?
My mother.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
So she was staying with us. I was Fashion Week.
Okay. Yeah. You remember.
And literally my mom was, staying with us in New York. We were roommates. We were completely like platonic. He had his own room. I had my own room. Fashion Week. I'm super busy. My mom's in town. He takes her out and literally like takes her shopping, lunch, dinners, like the whole thing. So that at the end of it, she was like, idiot, like what is wrong with you? 6'3", fine as bro. I mean,
literally looking for a guy in finance.
Right. Like he was like the epitome of all that.
Yes. And now the rest is history. Okay, so he's a man with a plan.
He is a man with a
I
plan.
like that. So he's like a bad boy, but like a strategic bad boy.
He's a strategic bad boy. And
he knew what he wanted.
He definitely did. He's a bit of a rebel. I mean, you can tell. Like he goes against the grain.
No, he does. And I love that about him. And I think that's why he has so many fans, is because he doesn't care in the best way possible.
Literally does not care. And it also comes from being like, he was brought up in LA, right?
Right.
So he was kind of like a little bit of a gangster.
Right. I love that.
Did donuts like in the street type thing.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Had an eclipse. I got a blacked out eclipse.
Oh, okay. Wait, I love this.
Yeah.
Okay, Pavin's layered. I love this so much.
So many layers.
And now he's famous for talking about a sandwich. So
yeah, imagine.
Okay, do you have, well, first of all, tell everyone about your business. And then I have a question.
What kind of business?
Your business.
My business.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's like a lot of businesses that I am handling right now. My business is, well, it's kind of the reason why, we were sort of hosting this Diwali party. Right. It's because, so I launched, it's called ushq.com. It's OUSHQ. It's kind of hard to pronounce. But essentially, when I was planning my wedding, and this is where the idea came into play, I was planning my wedding and I realized it's really hard to get or find Indian designers in the US.
Totally.
Actually, anywhere, unless you're in India. And how often are we in India? So I'm building kind of like the mode operandi, I would say, of like Indian creatives in the fashion landscape. And it's, I'm really excited about it.
It's so cool. And that's how I was able to borrow the beautiful outfit for the Diwali party.
Correct, which you killed that outfit.
So good.
Murdered. It was like so good.
So do you have interns?
I don't have interns.
Would you take them on?
I would take an intern on.
Okay, so a new poll in the Wall Street Journal showed that post-pandemic, 30% of women say their office attire is now casual street clothes, and at some workplaces, crop tops are emerging as a everyday piece of workwear. Now, this is different for you because it is a fashion brand and obviously crop tops are fashionable. So you probably wouldn't give a shit if your intern wore a crop top.
I wouldn't give a shit, but it depends on how short is the crop. You know what I mean? Like if it's like a little bit of an underboob and you're walking around like my family like that.
Right. It's like you can't be. Yeah. It is. I'm so torn on this whole casualization of the workplace because I'm going to be honest with you. I came in to do radio this morning and I wore literally a workout set because I was running late and I didn't care. But a part of my millennial office obsessed self is like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, it's so crazy to me how casual everything is.
Everything's so casual. And we grew up in, a way that you like have to respect the workplace.
Totally.
Where you're like, actually, think about your outfits. It's like a moment.
It's a moment. And it's also, millennials were so obsessed with workwear that we would wear it to the club. Like I fully wore like a Zara blazer to the club multiple times.
Right.
I would like have my big tote bag and I'd be like, I would have my peplum top, my Zara blazer, my little flats and my little like pencil skirt.
That was a costume.
That was like
it was a uniform.
It was amazing. And it's just so funny because Gen Z is so casual, but then they'll also be like, what I saw online is trending this week is sexy siren, like office siren. And I was like, no, like that's just workwear. Like why do you guys have a name for everything?
This is where the lawsuits come into play, guys.
No,
like,
totally.
We don't want to do this nonsense.
No,
I mean, it's
crazy.
It's crazy. But what I will say is, I think this whole remote working has completely tarnished like the whole like structure of what corporate life is like.
I agree. And I know that people probably look at us and they say, well, you're on a TV show and you run your own company and I am, an influencer and I work in media and whatever. You guys don't know what it's like to work in an office, but we both do know what it's like to work in an office. And I think that it is making everybody weird that we work from home. Now, I'm not saying we need to go back to everybody goes to the office 5 days a week. You have to be there 9 to 5. We should be flexible for sure. But I believe that it is making us all have more social anxiety. It's harder to make friends. We have a loneliness epidemic in this country.
Yeah.
And it's because we have no structure anymore. And I also think people go a bit mental when they're like at home and you wake up, you don't need to put on real clothes. No. You just sit at home all day. You have no separation. No. You just think, I don't need to go out to get my coffee. I'll just order it. I'll just order everything to my house. And then all of a sudden you haven't left your house in 3 days. And then everyone's like, I'm depressed and I'm lonely. And I'm like, yeah, because you haven't been outside in a fucking week.
I ordered celery juice every single day this week. Ordered. It's $20.
No, it's crazy.
Like, it's crazy.
My Uber Eats habit is out of control. It's the number one, my favorite app. I order so much food every day. But I just think, like, if you have an option to go into the office a few days a week, you should go. Like, by the way, I miss having an office in that sense, because I used to work at Gap corporate, and my favorite time of the day, this is probably why I was so bad at my job, was like going to other people's offices and like talking shit.
Totally.
And like being like, oh, let's go get a coffee. Let's go to lunch. Like, let's, kiki and whatever. And it was just the sense of camaraderie that I felt was unbelievable.
Right.
And it was just so like, it was so fun. So I don't know.
There's no office bitch to bitch about.
Exactly. And you can't have a work wife if you don't go into
Exactly.
Some of my greatest friends are the people that I met at work, and we were like in the trenches together, and now we're real friends. And I just think it's like I think things should be flexible. Like, it's obviously we don't need to have as strict as like office culture as we used to pre-pandemic, but I think
3 days a week.
Yeah. Or it's like, also I feel I cannot vibe with people as well on Zoom. Like I just, if it's like say there's a brainstorm and people are like, okay, let's hop on a Zoom, I don't find that I'm as creative or that I can concentrate as well on a Zoom. Maybe that's because I have ADHD or whatever, but if I'm in a room with people and we're bouncing ideas off each other, I just feel like we get so much more done.
Yeah, it's more inspiring, and even those co-working spaces are like good for that. You
right,
know?
exactly.
You can have lunch, you can like do, and you can wear a cute out. I mean, I love dressing up for work.
No, I know. I honestly miss it. And I feel like I am one of those people who, if I put on a real outfit, I think better. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I
hair
need
and makeup done.
Yeah, it makes you feel like they did I remember, I love this fact or whatever, the study. They had a group of people take tests in suits and a group of people take tests in sweatpants, and the people who were wearing suits did a better job.
Of course.
Because it's like how you feel.
Right. It's how you feel. It's how your brain is like switched on.
Yeah. So stop wearing crop tops to the office, guys.
Except for if it's the Valentino one that just came out.
Except for the Valentino one. Yes, we'll allow that. We'll allow that. Okay, so Rihanna, she wore this outfit. Speaking of outfits this week, she was wearing a t-shirt this week that said, "I'm retired." And people were like freaking out. And she said, people got triggered with that retired word. Rihanna told Entertainment Tonight in an interview explaining the photo where she is seen wearing a t-shirt with the phrase that says, "I'm retired." She continued, "They were like, we're never getting an album now. No one read the other line. It was something about, this is as dressed up as I get." Okay, so Rihanna also noted that she is ready to return to the studio as she rediscovers music. She said, "I think that music for me is a new discovery. I'm rediscovering things. I've been working on the album for so long that I kind of put all that stuff aside, and now I'm prepared to go back into the studio. I'm going to start. Give me a second." So as a working mom, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like we put too much pressure on Rihanna to give us another album?
1,000%. By the way, Rihanna has a lot of balls in the air right now. She just launched Fenty hair.
Yeah.
She's like killing it with Fenty. I mean, she's rocking her natural hair right now.
She's killing it.
Killing it.
Fenty is like $1 billion business.
Totally. And she was the first one, by the way, to give all the colors, right? Like
she was the first. Fenty will go down in history as a truly incredible, like groundbreaking beauty brand because diversity was they didn't have to layer it on as a like, oh, whoopsie. It was baked into their foundation. Good pun, actually. It was literally in their foundation. And it's like, they didn't have to retroactively be diverse. She understood that there needs to be so many different shades. There are so many different people that need so many different shades of foundation and concealer and everything. And it's just like, it's so authentic, and that's why it hits. And also Fenty they slay.
Right. Slay. By the way, I have a funny story about Rihanna.
Yeah. Oh my God, tell.
Okay. It's really good. I actually think I've shared this publicly. So season 1 ends.
Okay.
I'm at Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom's. Anyway, I'm in the shoe department of a store. And all of a sudden, my Instagram alerts pop up on my phone and it says, DM received from Bad Gal Riri.
You're lying.
So I'm like, no. This is like completely a hoax. I sit down in the shoe department and I open the DM. It is Rihanna.
You're Jessel.
I swear to God.
I have chills.
I swear to God.
She's a big Housewives person.
She's a big Housewives fan. She was so positive, upbeat. She was like giving me all the props. And I was just like, holy shit, I can die and I have done everything.
The way I would actually retire if Rihanna ever did me.
I would retire.
Oh my God. That is
crazy.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. It was really, really like,
that's sick.
Holy shit.
To get the sign of approval from Rihanna is like.
Totally. And she doesn't follow me. So she like searched for me. And I was like, no, this is not Rihanna. I went onto her thing and it was like 152 million. I was like, oh, fuck, it is Rihanna. Like there she is.
My God.
Mental.
You have those DMs forever. That is so.
I do.
I just feel like I respect her so much. Like I respect her opinion.
Yeah.
So I feel like the fact that she said that about you, like, she's.
I'm good.
You're good. You're good.
But going back to her, like, should she listen? She needs to take her time.
Yeah.
Like, I think you have a baby. She wants to focus on her kids. Like, she's busy. You know?
She's running this empire, and I do feel like, I don't know. I think we need to know when to quit. You know, it's been so many years since she's has an album. Clearly, we're not going to like annoy it out of her.
Right.
So at this point, we just should give it a rest. Like, we got Fenty Gloss Bomb from her. Like, can we? Like, she just launched this new hair care brand. Like, we need to give her a rest.
Chill the fuck out, guys.
And I think it's also better if we stop annoying her. It'll be more like a fun surprise.
Totally. And I think that, you know, we're not musicians. So I don't know what the creative process is to create an album. I mean, she's probably, you know, waiting for, I don't know, something. Like,
I also think that, how long has it been? What did it say? Like 9 years or something?
Oh, it has?
Like, so long.
Wait, was the last album the one where she did with Drake? Like, she had like a lot of Drake.
I think it's been many, many years, but what I will say is that, like, the music industry has changed so much since she's been in it.
Right.
Like, think about it now. She hasn't released an album or any music since TikTok has come out. And I don't know how much you're following this, but like TikTok has completely changed the game when it comes to music, for better and for worse, where it's like, they make these artists do so much shit on TikTok. And something in my gut tells me that Rihanna doesn't really like play that game. She's not one to like do all these like cheesy TikToks and like force people to listen to, you know, she's like the queen of cool.
Right.
I feel like she's the type to put out an album and be like, take it or leave it.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe it's complicated in that sense.
2016.
Oh,
2016,
wow.
damn.
So was that Ella? Umbrella Ella?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And
So I just feel like
crazy. 2016.
if I had taken that much time off, I would be looking at the music industry now and I'd be like, it's a fucking nightmare. And artists are being open about it and speaking about how tough it is on them right now. So she's probably like, I'm just going to run my $1 billion brands and like just take a beat.
Exactly. And good for her. You know what? I don't think the pressure of anyone should, you know, force you into doing anything.
Yeah. And we need to chill out with like pressuring celebrities. Like, they'll do it just like it. We need to just chill.
But I kind of do want a Rihanna album.
Same. We need it. But there's a lot of good music. Right? Like, this is a good music year. I will say that. I'm enjoying. I loved Cowboy Carter. Like, I'm really
You're in it.
I feel well fed. The Sabrina Carpenter of it all. I feel well fed with all the music. So, okay, we're gonna do some questions. I feel like like I said, I think you have a really sensible outlook. So here are some advice questions from our community.
Lord.
Okay, Maggie 28. Hey Tinxie, I am a newlywed and I gotta say I thought this was supposed to be fun times, ? I feel like ever since we got back from our honeymoon 2 months ago, my husband has been mailing it in. I swear it's been like a complete 180. I kid you not, in the year of our engagement, I can count on one hand how many guys' nights he had, but now that we are married, he has had 7. I am not suspecting cheating or foul play, but I feel severely underappreciated. I feel like this should be our time to bang, laugh, and enjoy newlywed bliss. But instead, I have a man who seems to be doing anything he can to make plans that don't involve me. Your take on how to remedy this? Am I comparing my story to other newlywed stories, thus having my own potential joy stolen?
Wow.
So interesting.
That's intense. Oh my God. Well, listen, I gotta say, the whole like pre-marriage like lead up, it is like exciting. You're dating,
Totally.
you're doing this, you're engaged, and then like the whole like engagement is fun, and then the wedding and planning it is also like, and then I felt this way. I was married and we came home. I swear to God, Papa and I just looked at each other. We're like, what the fuck do we do now?
I feel like that's kind of common though.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of my friends who have gotten married have been even honest to me, being like, there's definitely like a post-marriage blues.
Definitely.
You know, you plan this big wedding. There's all this attention around you. It's like sometimes over a year of like hype, of excitement, and it all goes away in one day.
It goes away in one day, and then you like have a very harsh snap back to reality.
Right.
And you honestly, like, I was very much like, I need a girl's vacation. Like, I need to like focus on me. So this is what I would say. I would say, and this is honestly how Pavan and I have survived 10 years of marriage. Let him do him and you do you.
I think that's such
Focus
good
on your
advice.
own growth, right? Like now that you're married, you can actually it's like tick, check, like you're done, right? With that
So you
whole
can
thing.
focus on yourself.
Focus on yourself.
Wait, I love that reframe. I think that's so smart. And yeah, she mentioned like, okay, he's going on guys' nights. You're right. Go on to some girls' nights. Go on a girls' trip. Pick up a new hobby. Like really focus on yourself. And I feel like
she's young, 28.
28, yeah. Like men also,
I'm
it's
still
like
dancing on tables at 28.
no, like I'm 33 and I'm still single and dancing on tables.
Literally, what is happening?
I also think that like the more I've always believed that like the more you kind of like do yourself, the more men are like, ooh, I want to like chase her or whatever. It's like if you're waiting at home being like another guy's night, they're gonna be like, oh, like
this is what marriage is, and like divorce and pet. I mean, I should say the D word, but like, it just you don't want to put a rein on them because it really does put a damper on everything.
And life is long, and like hopefully your marriage is long, so it's like it's okay, it's all right. I think it's so normal to have an adjustment period, and I also think newlywed bliss is like kind of a myth.
It's 100% a myth. There is no newlywed bliss. Well, what I would say is if she does want to spend more time with her husband, then, plan a trip. Plan a trip.
We love that.
Yeah.
A trip solves it. I'm like.
When in doubt, travel.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, I need a vacation. I really do.
You're always on vacation.
Okay, Jessel.
What are you talking about?
Blair, 26. Okay. A Housewives question. Tinxie, I'm a real Housewives girly because of you. Your posts about them has made me go back to binge all of RHONY and I can't get enough. That said, my friends or I are in a constant debate. Please weigh in. If you were to bring any housewife, past or present, into the bedroom as a third with you and your man, who would it be and why? P.S. I always wondered when you were on Watch What Happens Live, did Andy ever say anything to you while in the commercial break? Want to know what he is like with guests when the cameras aren't rolling. Damn, that's a loaded question.
Damn, that is a loaded question. Okay, so past or present, housewife in bed. Puppet really, he has got the hearts for Jenna Lyons. I don't know what it is.
I think that's hot. I mean, she's sexy.
Kind of geek out.
No, she's sexy. I think that would be a fun third.
She is definitely going to be a fun third. I mean, I feel like there's like kink behind the denim, like there's
1,000%.
She's got it going on. I kind of like find myself staring at her. I mean, she's kind of like nerdy.
She's like magnetic.
Yeah,
like she has like this magnetic pull to her where
Very
it's like
much.
She's just like, I think there's something so powerful when people don't have to say a lot, but they still have a lot of like energy.
Presence, yeah.
Because I'm the opposite. I'm like, if there's silence, I'll fill it. I'm like the biggest yapper. And so for me, I think that when people are like this strong silent type, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
She's one of those people where like she doesn't say a lot, right? So, but what she does say, I sort of like find myself like hanging on every
word.
single
No, totally.
word.
Yeah.
Like she makes me nervous a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah. What was it?
Andy, about Andy.
Oh, Andy.
He's just like, I'm just like obsessed.
Love him.
I think he said like, I don't know what he said. I was shitting myself in when I went on Watch What Happens Live. I was just trying not to like cry or pee or like whatever. I've like blacked out the entire night. But I think he said something about, because I have a radio show on Radio Andy. So I think he asked me something about that. But how has your experience been with him?
No, I mean, he's so much fun.
He's iconic.
He's made Puppet and I feel so comfortable. Like he'll come into the room and kind of like give us a lay of the land. I mean, you Watch What Happens Live is intense, right? It's like 25 minutes of like
so intense
filming and there's no real edit.
No, you're
kind of
in
is
it.
What it is.
Yeah.
You're in it.
No, it's scary for sure.
It's so scary. But he, when Andy likes you.
Yeah.
I'll say that. There's definitely like a little chemistry and a connection where it's like subtle and he doesn't give away too much. And obviously he doesn't follow any housewives. I think he follows like 5 on Instagram, if that. Oh, wow. But it's very much an even playing field with him.
Yeah, I'll know I've made it when he follows me on Insta.
Yeah,
that's like for me that's like what I'm holding myself
that's when I'm going to
to.
retire.
That's when I'm going to retire. Exactly. No, for sure. Okay, Brielle, 28. So I walked in on my boyfriend watching porn. He quickly tried to close his iPad, but I totally saw what he was looking at. It was a 20-ish something blonde with small boobs and a decent sized butt. I sincerely had no judgment, but it got me wondering. I am a 20-something-year-old with small boobs and a decent butt. Would you rather your partner watching women that look like you in porn, or would you rather them looking at something that is the complete opposite? I can't stop wondering which is better. Also, the girlies in the group chat are very split on this.
Oh, I mean,
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters either. And by the way, every guy watches porn.
Everybody watches porn.
Everybody watches porn.
Truly, everybody watches porn. And I think we should just like take the bite out of it. Like, I know that porn is a really complicated issue. And, I've talked about it on my show before and whatever. But I think that like, he was watching porn with the girl. Like, and maybe sometimes he watches.
She looks like you.
Who cares? Like, I honestly think, sex and our sexuality is so complex. I don't think we should try to explain it,
So this is what I did with Puppet. We were trying to have a baby. I was trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was being the ultimate bitch because quite frankly, you have 2 days of ovulation
Literally.
window. Like, it was so stressful. So I would call him. He'd be at work. I'm like, drive home right now. I'm ovulating. I got the happy face on the freaking stick or whatever that thing is. And I would put so much pressure on him. He couldn't really perform.
Of course.
Right? So Pornhub.com on my phone, put it on the headboard. I was like, watch that, do this. That was it.
I literally love that. That is so iconic. By the way, porn is a great way to get closer to your partner.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it can be wonderful in many ways. And I feel like you just help so many women by saying that. Because I feel like sometimes it's so hard when you're trying to have a baby and it's like
form of escapism, honestly. Yeah. And listen, every man fantasizes about whether it's like you or someone that looks like you or someone else.
Totally.
Hello.
And also, like, I've said this before on my show, but like, I need to think about other stuff when I'm having sex. So I don't, sexuality is complicated.
What do you think about?
Like, if I'm trying to come, I'm like, I have to think about like hot stuff. Otherwise, my mind will wander.
But what about what the guy's doing to you?
I need sometimes like double whammy. Like, I need to be thinking about a fantasy while I'm doing it, because if I'm just, it's very hard for me to be present.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be like, wait, I have a grocery list. I have to do that. So I have to be like pulled in, and I have to like think about certain stuff.
Music helps. Like,
music helps.
I think music is the best. Like,
it grounds you in
genuine, type of like slow.
I like that.
Slow grind.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Lauren, she's 34. Okay, dilemma. You tell me women's intuition is a strong and real thing, but that I should never go through his phone. I don't believe in going through your significant other's phones.
I don't either.
I have some suspicions about my husband and I want them to be false, but I feel like the only way I will know is if I unlock his phone and do some digging. Please advise.
That's so shady.
Here's the thing. I think that if someone is cheating, it will come out eventually.
Right.
And I'm not saying you should turn a blind eye, and I'm not saying don't look for things that are very obvious. I don't know. I think when you go through someone's phone, it is a boundary that you can never uncross.
Totally. Because, I mean, whatever you find out, I mean, he's going to eventually, it's going to come out.
This is the thing. Eventually it will come out. And
the trust is gone.
The trust is gone. And I feel like a lot of people will say, well, then wouldn't you rather know sooner? And it's like, for me, I think I would want to know, like, I think things play out as they should.
Right.
I don't know. I also just like, I just feel so weird going through someone's phone.
Yeah,
I've never gone through a significant other's
your
phone.
husband. I mean, I feel like if she has suspicions, to just call it out. Like,
that's interesting. Yeah, to just say like, I feel weird
a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, I think communication between like a husband and a wife like needs to be really like cutthroat and like black and white.
No, I agree. I just think if you go through his phone and there's nothing there, it's going to create a weird dynamic. But I think you're right. I think he's your husband. Like, it's an awful feeling to have suspicions about someone cheating. But at the end of the day, this is your literal husband. You should be able to sit down and go, are you cheating on me?
Yeah.
That's like, it's a heartbreaking thing, but you got to do it.
And then ask him for a threesome if he is.
There you go, with Jen Alliance. Okay, Bryn, 31. I've been married for 3 years, and my husband, who has never played a video game in his life, is now a gamer. I mean, Tinx. In the year since he picked up this hobby, he has dedicated an entire room of the house to it. Multiple monitors, a gaming chair, talking into headsets till all hours of the night. I decided to be spontaneous the other night, and I cringe at even typing this, but I walked in wearing lingerie and what I can only describe as fuck me heels and he gave me the 1 second gesture as he was in make-believe land, what I assume or other as he was in make-believe land, what I assume or other re-virginated men.
Wow.
I don't mind so much that he likes video games, but I refuse to be a widow to an Xbox. Please help.
Listen, gaming is very addictive.
It's so addictive.
I used to play Street Fighter when I was a kid.
Okay.
Obsessed. Tetris.
I love that. I used to play The Sims. I was
Sims
obsessed with The Sims. Yeah.
But like, imagine I used to wake up and I used to think about, you know, like Tetris, like the blocks.
You used to like think in that?
I used to dream it. I used to think in that.
I'm dead.
So I understand the addiction.
No, it's super addictive. I think it's just like, for me, that's like an ick. Like I think everybody should have their hobbies, like for sure. But I think when it becomes like such a big obsessive hobby, it's not a hobby anymore. It's an obsession.
Right.
A whole room in your house. Come on.
Is there an AA for gamers?
There must be. I honestly think it's like, and I think it's also dangerous. I think that people, you know, the level of addiction that they put in these games, like they want you to spend hours on them a day.
For sure.
They force it's same with phones, right? Everything on our phone is to keep us on our phone more.
So maybe she needs to put some screen time on him, you know?
I like that idea. I like a screen time. Yeah. To just be like, it's like an hour a day or whatever.
An hour a day. He's not going to fly with that, but I think she needs to
set some boundaries and put it. Otherwise, it's like, and it's also terrible to feel rejected sexually, to go in and be in lingerie.
Heels on.
Yeah. And to go 1 second. And when she's like looking like that, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's not.
I got to tell you though, Papa does that all the time when he's eating.
1 second?
I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
You're like, don't give me the 1 second. Oh my gosh. Okay, Jessel, where can people find you online? Where can people follow you? Obviously, everybody will be watching the new season of RHONY.
At Jessel Taank on Insta. And then Adushk is my business.
What else can you plug? What else
do I have? Facebook is dead. Like I don't really use it.
Okay, there we go. So just follow her. Follow her on Insta.
Wait, should I plug my TikTok? I have like 3 things.
Of course you should.
It's just at Jessel Taank on TikTok. But like I don't do any of those weird dances.
You have the best name for your fans ever, the tank tops.
The tank tops.
That's genius. I'm a tank top.
I need to figure out how to make tank tops.
You need to make really cute, like little baby tank tops. Yeah, that would be so cute. Yeah, a crop for the office. Yes,
there you go.
Exactly. Jessel, thank you for coming on. I adore you so much. I love you.
I love you too.
You guys don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, send us an email. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. Bye.